guys, it's me and Danny Jones. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for stopping by and Happy New Year to you. And if you're a returning friend, how can I thank you for making this past year so much better because of your presence and your kind words, your encouragement, and your prayers. Thank you all so very much. If this is your first time here, I would love to meet you, so please leave a comment down below. What do I do here on my channel? Well, I love to craft. I love to experiment with new crafting styles that come into mode or whatever at the time. And I just love to celebrate the seasons and celebrate my friendships here on YouTube. So before we start moving forward to the new year, I wanted to step back and take a look at some of my favorite crafts from this past year. Now, I just made a small selection. I think there's about maybe a little more than a dozen, but I would love to showcase more of these past crafts in the year to come. And I might reinvent some of them. So I hope you enjoy this small playlist as we move forward into the new year. So let's take a look and see what I came up with this past year in 2021. Let's go. So for my next idea, I am going to make a nested teacup. It's not like you're nesting the teacups in well, you know what I mean. I'm creating a nest within a teacup. Basically, I've gotten a teacup that I got at the thrift store for 99 cents and this shredded coconut material, which you can get from the Dollar Tree as part of, gardening or what have you, and create a little nest within the teacup. Here's the story. I pretend that I'm in an English garden in the countryside somewhere, having my beautiful tea time and leaving this lovely little teacup outside overnight. And somehow a little bird decides to make it its home. And there I am adding some more moss because we don't have enough moss in this house, and making a perch for my little bird friend. Next, I'll be adding these little mini Easter eggs that I got at Hobby Lobby, I think last year on clearance, because I never buy anything retail, even if I really want to. And then I take this bird that I actually bought on clearance during the fall, after the fall, I should say, and I'm just going to change its colors so it could be more springy. And I'm just using some folk art blue paint. It's lovely paint, but I thought it matched little robin's egg. And I thought it would give it more of a spring color. So there you have it, your little nested teacup. So for today's craft, we're going to need a dollar store plastic mirror. Ooh, I should clean this before I get started actually. Look at that, oof, gotta clean that up. Anyway, and we're going to use some Mackenzie Child's Portly check paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. And of course, a Dollar Tree sign. I'm not gonna rub off all that, no. We're gonna leave it like that because I can still use it for Halloween. But I have a nice clean background, so I will be using this side. Let's get started. So let's get started. We're going to decoupage this sign with my favorite gloss Mod Podge from the Plaid family of products. Did I scare you by putting that so close to the camera? Yes, I think I did. And they just sent me that Mod Podge and also this sanding block. And that's gonna help to cut out those edges so I don't have to go through all that work. So let's get started. this is Mackenzie Childs, we can't forget a little bit of whimsy. So I've got some butterflies and some flowers, and I'll add that to the top here where you can see I have a boo-boo. So we can always fix boo-boos with flowers and glitter and ribbons and some decoupage. So I went outside for a moment and painted the white frame gold. I thought it was very much more into the Mackenzie Childs inspiration. So let's attach the mirror back. Take off the backing. I have done this live on my channel, but I wanted to share it. This is a way of using plastic spoons to make roses. Now I've seen this done with large spoons, but I've never seen it done with these small hors d'oeuvre spoons that you can buy at the Dollar Tree. They're silver, and once you heat them up, they actually turn into a dull silver color, almost looking like pewter. It's absolutely adorable. You'll see it in just a moment. I suggest you do not do this with children. You do this when you're relaxed and take your time, and all you basically need are these little mini spoons from the Dollar Tree and these jewelry, I don't know what this jewelry thing, I cannot remember names of things today. It's late, it's after work, I can't think of anything. Pincers, whatever you want to call it, tongs, I don't know. But you're just basically going to melt the plastic and manipulate it to look like a rose. So here I'm doing the inner rosebud, and it just takes a lot of patience. As you can see, I did not speed this up. I wanted to take my time showing you how to make this, because I tell you, once you learn how to do this, you will use rose embellishments in everything you do. You can also make other flowers. I have made orchids and other types of flowers. I can't remember exactly what, but as long as it's like a complex flower like a rose or an orchid, it works pretty well with this. I don't think I've ever tried to make a sunflower. I don't think it's possible with this, but who knows? Maybe with the larger spoons. Again, I have seen other people do it, but I had never seen anybody do it with the smaller spoons the way I do. I have another video where I do this as well about 2 years ago, and most recently, just last year, I did it, and just the other night I did it live. It's so much fun to show how to do this live, because people are just like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And you just like pretty much melt it down. It's a lot of fun because you almost feel like it's real metal, and you just melt it down and manipulate it And there I am pulling the petal off of the spoon. And don't throw these little, oh, it's fire. You know, I like to set things on fire. Don't throw away those handles of those spoons. You will see they will come in handy for another craft that I have in mind. Now, again, take your time, be patient. When adding another petal to the rosebud, all I'm doing is burning the plastic down, and that creates, and there it is on fire, and that creates its own kind of glue. It just meshes into the other plastic rose or the plastic bud. Don't worry if the first time you try this, it doesn't work. It took me a while to get to this point where I could just add things and it works. And again, you can reinforce the connection between the petal and the rosebud just by adding a little more heat and melding them together. It's just like, I don't know, it feels like ironwork almost, or jewelry work. Believe it or not, I have made jewelry out of this. I've made necklaces, and people have come up to me and thought it was real pewter and were stunned at how light these necklaces are because it's plastic. Repeat the process until you have all the petals added to your rosebud. You can add as many as you like, and you can also use E6000 or hot glue if you prefer, but I've gotten used to just melting the plastic and joining the petals to the rosebud. Now enjoy the rest of the process. Once you're done, what you'll need to create your wagon wheel is a hula hoop, some dowels. Now there's two sizes, you can use the smaller ones, this little trinket box, or you can also use a ribbon spool, so save those ribbon spools. Now I'm just using some painter's tape to mark off the halves because we're going to have 8 spokes, so I thought it would be easier to just mark off the half vertically, then horizontally, and then diagonally, as you'll see in just a moment. Now I have seen others making wagon wheels, but I don't think anybody has ever used this method, which I think is a lot easier. All we're going to do now, once we've marked off where our spokes are going to be, we're going to use our handy dandy glue guns. Mine happens to be a Sure Bonder. I'm still waiting for them to notice me. One day, my Sure Bonder prince will come. So all I'm doing is using the heat from the glue gun. I'm not pressing, as you can see, I'm not pressing on the trigger, and I'm just making holes all around the hula hoop, which will fit our dowels perfectly, as you can see somewhere there. Now, my dowels happen to be a little too long, so I'm just chopping them up with my handy dandy little saw. I tried to use some snips, but they weren't strong enough, so for Mother's Day gifts, children, my boys out there, your mom needs some better tools for crafting. Now I'm just assembling my wagon wheel. Look how easy this is. You're just putting in your spokes. Boom, 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 just like that. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, they're all the same size spokes, and you'll see why in just a minute. This little trinket box is absolutely perfect to make a wagon wheel, and you'll see it's because these spokes or these dowels fit right in to the back of the box, and I'm just gluing down the spokes into the back of the box. It's amazing. It's the exact same size. And that's it, and then you flip it over, and there you have it. You don't have to worry about those spokes falling out. Then I'm going to take this outside and spray it down. You can use silver or black. I used white for this example. Now you can go ahead and put your flower arrangement straight onto your wagon wheel, but because I want to use this all year long, I decided I was going to make a base out of EVA foam. It's a little thicker EVA foam. I love using EVA foam. and some moss ribbon. If you watched my moss truck, you saw me making it with some of this moss ribbon. So this is going to be the backdrop for my flowers, and you'll see why. This way I can make it a wagon wheel that I could use all year long and just remove my flowers, save them until the next spring season or summer season. Here I am adding some eucalyptus. Who doesn't like eucalyptus? And I always love eucalyptus with anything farmhouse or shabby chic. I'm really getting into shabby chic. I've always liked shabby chic. So if you like it too, I'm going to be focusing more on that, especially for Mother's Day. I also love Mackenzie Childs and anything whimsical and fun. Just fun crafts, you know? So here I am just continuing to add greenery. The way I do my flowers is I usually add greenery first as my backdrop, and then I use my flowers to fill it in. I am lucky enough to have a bunch of flower buds that were donated to me by a friend of mine after she had a bridal shower. She just gave me a whole bunch of silk flowers, and I have organized them by color. I know, that's crazy, but I like picking out a color and just saying, okay, I'm going to use yellow, I'm going to use blue or white, and that's the color schematics that I am using for this wagon wheel. Of course, every time I say wagon wheel, I want to sing the song Wagon Wheel by Darius Rucker. I don't want to sing it here because I don't want to get hit, but it's a fun song. You got to find it. Darius Rucker, Wagon Wheel. Now here I am finishing up, adding some blue flowers and white flowers. I always love the combination of yellow, white, and blue. I selected this because I thought maybe later I could add some miniature lemons or something to the decor, and I think it will be perfect for summertime. So now here is the flower arrangement on the wagon wheel itself. However, here's the fun part. Now I'm just going to add some of this wire. I can't remember what they're called, but you know what they're called. So they're these fuzzy wires. That's what I'm going to call them. The fuzzy wires. I'm just gluing them down, and I'm going to add a little bit of burlap just to give it some extra support there. And I should add a little more glue there. I'll add it later. And I just added 2 of those pipe cleaners. We used to call them pipe cleaners. I don't think you guys call them pipe cleaners anymore. But that's it. I just added the pipe cleaners, a little bit of burlap, and now I can attach this to the wagon wheel without damaging the wagon wheel, without damaging the paint, and I can remove it anytime I want. So I can have a wagon wheel all year long. See how nice it looks? I mean, it's really, really nice. You don't damage the wagon wheel. And if I want to, I can add ribbons. I didn't want to add ribbons. I wanted to keep this nice and simple, very country fresh. And all I'm going to do now is flip it over and just tie it down with those ties. You can also use zip ties if you don't have those pipe cleaners. But yeah, you can use zip ties, whatever it is that you want to use, you can use it. But just create a base so that you can remove it when it's done, and you'll always have your wagon wheel ready for any season, anytime, and you can just change it up all you want. I'm actually going to make a few of these wagon wheels for my home decor. I want one in black as well, and maybe one in a pastel pink for my boudoir. So there you have it, a wagon wheel for your home. Hope you like it. So let's start by making a corset vase. What's a corset vase? Well, basically a vase that looks like a corset. Where did I get the idea? Well, I thought it was very feminine and shabby chic, and I always wanted to make one of those dress forms. Now, I have to say I did get inspiration from Karim of Designs by Karim. I will link her below. She actually made a full dress form, but I didn't want a full dress form. That would take 2 little waist paper baskets, and these are from the Dollar Tree. I just wanted something that would sit upon my mantle or on my dresser. I didn't want a full form, and I thought a vase would be perfect. So as you can see, I took a cut at the top of the waste paper basket, and now I'm just trying to shape it into a very feminine corseted
form. I don't know if that makes sense. These waste paper baskets are wonderful for that because you can literally shape it into anything you like. It's so easy because of the, I guess, the crisscross wiring. And all I'm doing is, again, with some gloves and trying to work that into a corset frame shape. Next, I'm going to cover the frame of this corset with some burlap fabric. It's from burlapfabric.com. Burlapfabric.com for all your burlap needs. Yeah, I just made that up. You know, I like to make up jingles. So anyway, I am now an affiliate with burlapfabric.com, and they sent me this lovely box of burlap fabric. And I will link below the actual items that I used in this project and in another project. It was perfect to cover this corset frame and give it a more feminine look. I just really loved it. I could have used regular fabric, but I have to tell you honestly, if it's something like for a vase, because it's burlap fabric, it's a stronger consistency. So it was perfect to really shape into this corseted shape for this vase. And all I'm doing is pulling it together, folding over the edges, I suppose, that are going to be corseted. So there will be some lacing at the front of this corset. And now I'm going to do what would normally be boning, or, you know, the stays that you see in regular corsets. I'm actually going to cut and shape the corset in such a way so it looks like there's boning or stays within this corseted vase. You know, if you watch series like, you know, Bridgerton and all these other like British movies that I love, you know, like Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, you always look at the clothing that they wear and you wonder, oh my gosh, these poor actresses had to wear all these corsets underneath. I don't know, sometimes it's nice to wear a corset. Maybe I should start wearing corsets more often. What am I thinking? What? Well, I mean, it's good for your back from what I understand. It gives you good posture, but ugh, that would be uncomfortable all day long. Maybe I should just pick one day a week, and I'll wear a corset. You know, like Corset Thursdays or something. What am I talking about? Do you meander? Does your mind go off in different places while you're crafting? Mine sure does. And it does while I'm doing voiceovers as well, as you can see. So here I am, just struggling to give this corset some shape until we start the next phase of this wonderful craft project. Now, as we all know, every corset has some lacing, and here I am creating the lacing for this lovely corseted vase. It's what makes it kind of, I don't know, sexy in a way. But it really should, I don't want to call it sexy. I just think it's very feminine. Not necessarily sexy, just feminine. I guess it's sexy to be feminine. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I really don't. I just think it's pretty. You know, I don't know. I kind of like those, you know, outfits of yesteryear. And I do love this lacing on this corset. I chose green because it's a nice neutral color. I'm going to make this a very botanical type of corset, and you'll see in just a moment. Now, I could have stopped right here. It looks lovely just with the white and the green or any other color. This would have been perfect for a bridal shower centerpiece, don't you think? It's so pretty. It's so feminine. But I wanted to add a few more embellishments. So using some fabric Mod Podge and these Tim Holtz collage tissue papers, I am just embellishing this lovely corset. As you can see, I put some of the Mod Podge on the actual tissue paper and on the fabric. Again, this is from burlapfabric.com. Burlapfabric.com for all your burlap needs. Oh, you guys are going to get sick of it. And of course, there's fabric Mod Podge from the Plaid family of products. I really enjoy using Mod Podge. I love decoupaging, and to be able to decoupage this, I don't know, this project, I loved it. I had so much fun. Again, I was watching something British, I'm sure, while I was doing this to be inspired. I think I was watching Sense and Sensibility, if I'm not mistaken. And I guess that inspired me to add some of these florals. I just think it's so pretty. And I didn't want the florals all over the fabric. I just wanted it in certain locations. And I think it just works out so nicely. So I hope you guys take a chance and do something similar to this. What's cool about decoupaging your own fabric is you kind of become like a fabric designer. I mean, you do create your own kind of patterns and fabric. So I really was having fun with this, and I don't know, I guess you can tell. So here I am finishing up this project, and I hope that it inspires you to come up with a corseted vase of your own. So perfectly shabby chic. Now for a Cruella de Vil inspired jacket. You're gonna need a jacket, a flip-flop painted gold, some ribbon, some more ribbon, some lace that I'm not gonna use, and some fringe, golden fringe, some golden toys, of course I painted those as well, some more fringe and more ribbon, and some goodies from Totally Dazzled. So, let's get started. Oh, and a golden tank just for good measure. Let's go, girls. So, here's my jacket. It's on my form and it's ready to be flipped. Now I'm going to take that flip-flop, I cut it in half, of course I painted it golden, and then I'm using some fringe that is gold, of course, and that's going to create my epaulets on both sides of my jacket. And yeah, I just glued it down with, of course, Sherbonder. Sherbonder was perfect for this project, and it's really sealed in there. Next, we're going to have some fun with all those toys. Here comes my truck, or my tank, I should say. I do have a truck on the other epaulet, but here's my golden truck. And we're going to have some golden soldiers added to the truck and some more fun stuff. And this was the most fun, was making these epaulets, I have to tell you, honestly. So for this side, I used a teapot because, you know, it takes place in England, in London. So I put a teapot, a teacup, a golden truck. There's my golden truck. It's a little pickup truck. I thought, yeah, I should have a pickup truck. And then I added some animals, anything that you can find that's golden if you want to make this for yourself. And who wouldn't want to have this jacket for themselves? I couldn't figure out where to put the flag, so I think I nixed the flag. Now, of course, I'm going to put some ribbon. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to put some ribbon that goes across and makes it look very military. Somehow I also felt this looked very much like Michael Jackson. Here I am adding some Dollar Tree bling to the collar. That was the best. Having Dollar Tree bling around the house is always helpful for these surprise projects like this that I do at midnight. And I'm not even sure what I'm doing. Here, I love this pin. I made this lapel pin. If you notice, that's Minnie Mouse painted gold. Yes, I painted Minnie Mouse gold. It's a Disney movie. It should be there. And I did the same with the other side. You can see I made some medals with just some ribbon and some pins and embellishments from Totally Dazzled. Now I'm just trimming up my jacket with some gold ribbon. I believe I got that at Michael's. And I actually didn't use that silver vine. I didn't like how it looked afterwards. Of course, I also added some chains to the other lapel, to the other epaulet. And there you have it. I love the way the collar peeks up like that. It just looks like it was made for a villain. And here comes all the bling. Here comes the bling. Here comes the bling bling. Here comes the bling bling. Here comes the bling bling. This is all Totally Dazzled bling. For the most part, I think everything is Totally Dazzled, except for anything that I painted myself. You look at the size of these pins from Totally Dazzled. They're so beautiful. It was so pretty. I loved doing this. Here I am trimming the other collar, and it's basically almost done, guys. I don't know where I went. I love that I walk away from my craft and I don't know where I went. Oh, I went to get something. More bling. Oh, yep. Went to get more bling. More bling. Bling, bling, bling. Bling, bling, bling goes the trolley. Bling, bling, bling goes the bell. No, there's no such song like that. I just made it up. And there you have. Look at that. Michael Jackson would be proud. Oh, okay, this one was fun. So I'm going to make a little mini birdcage. Have you ever wanted to make a mini birdcage? Well, now you can. I don't know how everybody else, if anybody else has made it, but I decided to make my own. So the base is actually the cover off of a candle, candle holder. And then this is the wire that you can buy at the Dollar Tree, and it's purple, but don't worry about it. We'll change the color. If not, you can keep it the same color. So now I'm making like those little ringlets that are going to go around the cagey part. I don't know the technical term, but the cagey part, those little, those hoop things that I'm making, you know, those, I don't know, it's not a hoop, but you know what I mean. Those things, that's it. So I'm trying to make sure that they all have more or less the same shape. And now we're going to start putting them together. This is fun. I had so much fun making this one. I always have fun making the stuff that I make, just because it makes me like think out of the box and be really creative and just come up with like cool, cute ideas. And especially these minis. I love that Corey decided to do this whole mini series because there's nothing that makes me happy. I mean, anything that's small is just so cute, you know? It's just adorable. So here I am gluing together the cagey parts. There you go. So there's one. And you just, you know, bend and repeat. Bend and repeat is almost like exercise. And you just keep adding the cagey parts to the base there, and you get your little bird cage all ready to go. Now, sometimes it was a little difficult, but again, all it is just bending it into place, and I made sure that each one was a little smaller than the one before, just by like millimeters, and then just glue them into place. It's the easiest thing, and just so much fun. And then after I did that, I was like, oh man, I need like a little mini bird, and you know, the stores were closed, it was late at night, but maybe if I find a mini little bird, I will put my little mini bird in there. And now I'm just putting the ringlets around. See how cute? You just like, I'm just pushing them into place so that it keeps the cagey shape. Cagey shape? Yes, cagey shape. There you have it. Look at that. Now I'm going to take it outside real quick. Yes, in the middle of the night. And I just spray painted it silver. You can spray paint it gold or rose gold. Oh man. Oh, I should have done this in rose gold. That would have been so pretty. I might make another one in rose gold. Again, another wonderful idea for Christmas ornaments. People, look at this. How cute. It's just adorable. You can make little shabby chic Christmas ornaments. I'm going to have a whole different other tree that's going to be like all shabby chic if I keep making miniatures for this challenge every month. But yeah. I love it. I really now I want to make more for ornaments. It's just so cute. And it's also cute just to have around the house and, you know, in the little spaces, and especially for your tier tray. This is perfect for a tier tray. So I hope you try making your own little, oh look how cute. Oh my gosh, I love.
So for my first craft, I like to create something called a wall parasol. That's right. And look at me, I really got into the dark academia and crafting by candlelight. But if you guys know me well, you know that crafting by candlelight isn't a safe thing, so it doesn't last forever. So these are the items I'm using. I'm using a cardboard box, a piece of a cardboard box. I am using 1/2 of those little curtain rods that you find on the side of the street. Yes, I found mine on the side of the street. And I'm using those, I guess it's called a tomato cage or a vegetable cage that you can get at the Dollar Tree. And all I did was go outside and spray paint it black. So we will be using these items to create the basis or the foundation of our wall parasol. These are so much fun to make. You'll get hooked. I hope you get hooked. So as you can see, I'm going to be doubling up with the cardboard, and that's why I have the 2 triangles. Right now what I'm doing is cutting the wire cage, the round part of the wire cage. You can also use the wire wreaths that you find at the Dollar Tree, but there you can see what's going to be the foundation of our parasol. There you go. That's going to be the opening. And basically it's going to look like a parasol that's hanging on the wall, and you can fill it with flowers or greenery. It's really pretty. So there you can see I already doubled up the cardboard just to give the base a bit of a stronger foundation. And now I'm going to add the tomato cage items. So I already added that gold stick, which is basically 1/2 of those little curtain rods that you can find at Walmart, or again in the garbage like I do. Now here I'm adding the tomato cage part of this, and what I'm using is the tomato cage actually has these little holes or brackets that hold the wire. How perfect is this? And there you can see the parasol is getting its shape from these items, the tomato cage sticks, I guess you want to call them. And basically I'm just using the round part of the tomato cage, and that's going to make the actual form of the wall parasol. And here you have it. It's basically, there's the foundation of your wall parasol. Now comes the next part, which is the fun part, and that's adding the fabric to your parasol. Now, if you're smart, you can totally skip these next steps, because you can just buy fabric that has the print that you like, and all you need is half a yard for this project. But do I do that? No. I want to create my own print. So here I am using some burlap fabric from burlapfabric.com and some Plaid FX acrylic paint. It's flexible acrylic paint, which is perfect for fabric because as it dries, it doesn't crack, it flexes. That's right. So here I'm using stencils, stamps, whatever you like, and you can create your own. I don't know. I like creating my own patterns. So there it is. It looks like a mess. It looks like, you know, graffiti. But hey, I've seen this style in the stores, and fabric like this is usually like $9.99 a yard. So yeah, this is a lot less expensive. And again, you can style it any way you like. Now, here we go. Now we're going to create the actual parasol. There you go. Basically, you're seeing what I'm doing. I am just throwing the fabric on top to figure out, okay, how am I going to do this? Then I decided at the last minute, I was like, hey, I got some black lace. That would look really pretty. And I thought, since this is dark academia, there's a little bit of elegance to it and stuff. I don't know if it's dark cottagecore, dark shabby chic, whatever you want to call it. And all I'm doing now is, instead of sewing it, because I'm lazy, I didn't want to get my sewing machine out, I just used the glue and a popsicle stick, and I made my own little ruffles, because every good parasol has to have a ruffle. And then to trim the top, I used another beautiful piece of lace that I found at Hobby Lobby, and it was 50% off. So I couldn't resist. Look how pretty that is. And just like shabby chic, there's no such thing as excess, especially when you're trying to make things very feminine and floral and, you know, extravagant. That's what, you know, shabby chic is all about, or French country or cottagecore. It's those attention to detail and a little bit of extravagance. Now here I am just gluing the back of the fabric to the back of that cardboard and just making sure that I create these little pleats. That's right, you guys know what I say, pleat and repeat. It's basically the step is pleat and repeat. And I basically created the pleats with a little bit of glue, and as you can see, I already pleated the top. Just keep on pleating and repeating, and that's why I like to keep it a bit wider than you actually need. I would add another like 5 or 6 inches to the top, just so you can pleat it and make it look very feminine and very chic. Now I'm just gluing the back of the parasol. I love watching myself as I do this, because I'm like, my gosh, how long did this take? It took me, I'll tell you the honest truth, it took me about 75% of a movie. I think I was watching Sense and Sensibility, which made no sense to me at all. I don't know, some of those movies, I love those. I love, you know, all those movies, those English movies, anything English. And I thought, you know, this would be cool to watch something English while I make a parasol. So yes, that's what I was watching. And of course, Alan Rickman's in that movie. My goodness, talk about dark elegance. Man, that man, God bless him. So there you go. I'm making, there's the parasol. Gosh, that looks, I like it. I'm so happy with it. And I have made a parasol in the past for another shabby chic collaboration. But this one, I really feel like I nailed it with this one. And I love it. And I want to do something similar for Halloween. I think it would look really cool with some Halloween print. Actually, this looks like something that you would see in that movie Sleepy Hollow. What was her name? Van Tassel? Yeah. That would match the Van Tassel striped dress so perfectly. And here I'm adding, what else am I adding? Of course, I'm adding stuff from Totally Dazzled, because it's totally dazzling. Why not? A little bit of excess never hurt anybody. And a little bit of sparkle, or a little bit of dazzle, always makes a better day. So there you have it, guys. This is my wall parasol I'm adding a little ribbon to the top, and basically all you have to do is add some flowers to the inside and hang this on your wall, and it just makes for a perfect dark academia.
For my first project, I'm going to create what they call either a goddess crown or a halo. I've seen this on Instagram many times, and what I'm using here are those little mirrors that you get at the Dollar Tree, as well as this 3-ring I guess wreath set that they also sell at the Dollar Tree, and it's already painted gold. Isn't it amazing? I've noticed also that they have wreath forms that are painted gold as well. Here I'm just taking those 3 concentric circles and I'm wiring them down and tapping them down with my wire cutter because I don't want that to be sticking in my head. This is going to have a very cool halo look. Now I'm taking apart those little plastic mirrors, which are so easy. They just literally snap into pieces. So I'm going to take these pieces and incorporate them into my crown. It also helps to stabilize the crown because of those 3 wire circles are very flimsy. It's great to have a little bit of support. Create that support for the back of the halo. With the halo complete, now I am going to add additional hot glue to the back of the headband that's going to be attached to the halo. This project I only used hot glue, but if you're going to make this permanent, I would use hot glue and an E6000 to make sure that those metal findings or those metal accessories from Totally Dazzled really gets glued onto those halo rings. I'll be very honest, I only did hot glue because I was in a hurry, and also wasn't absolutely sure how I was going to keep this halo, if I was going to keep it just as it is, or if I'm going to reuse some of the items. And I'll be honest with you, again, I paid for that because later in while I was filming, a couple of the items fell off, simply because I didn't use E6000. But again, if you use hot glue and E6000, it should be a good combination. Very carefully, I was just figuring out the placement. I also touched it up with some gold paint from Folk Art. And here I am again looking at all the embellishments, because that's the fun part. I just want to do the fun part, but I still haven't figured out how I'm going to attach all of this to the actual halo itself. But I have to tell you, here's a clue. You need popsicle sticks. That's right. Good old popsicle sticks. And here I am gluing on all the items, these little accessories from Totally Dazzled, to my halo. I have to say the hardest thing is choosing all those little accessories from Totally Dazzled because they have such a variety, and I'm just using the gold, rhinestone, and pearl right now for this project because I thought it was most autumn leaves that decided to take a ride on the autumn winds up to the moon, and they're sparkled in the moonlight. I know, overly romantic, but I don't know. You'll see when I'm done with it exactly what I mean. Now, lucky for me, I'm not a very organized person. Therefore, I don't put all of my Christmas stuff away where it should go, in the shed. So this was just like, I don't know, hanging out in the craft room in boxes, and I decided, wow, how beautiful. I love these iridescent branches of these little Christmas trees. So I'm going to join these 2 Christmas trees just using the same wire that is on the tree itself and a little bit of hot glue, as you can see. And I am going to make a crescent moon using these beautiful pastel florals from the Dollar Tree. Florals? That's a weird way of saying florals. Florals? Yes. From the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree florals. That's weird. Anyway, here I am holding it together for a very long time. And now I'm just going to wrap around the branches and get started with floofing. Now, using some Plaid family of products, I'm going to be using Folk Art Glitterific and Hologram, and these dragonfly paints, also from Folk Art. They are amazing to add an iridescent glow to these beautiful pastel leaves from the Dollar Tree. I had them in different colors with the purple, and I also had just the plain hologram that looks like snow. So this is so perfect. Now I'm going to use color shift for my pumpkins. So I have color shift in like a gray blue and this beautiful orange. What perfect colors for this shabby chic iridescent. Oh, I'm falling in love with this project as I watch it again. I love it. But look at how beautifully and soft these colors are. And it has this iridescent shift when you move the actual pumpkin from side to side. You see it glows. It's not necessarily metallic. It's like a soft glow. Now I'm going to start attaching all of these beautiful leaves to the Christmas trees. Now again, I took a pick of the blue, a pick of the purple, and a pick of the cream colored leaves. I think it was just with 3 picks. I might have used 4. I'm not exactly sure. But again, it's still very inexpensive for the final product, how it looks. It really looks like something from a very specialized shabby chic boutique. Oh my gosh, did I say that? I said sheet. Shabby chic. Oh Lord, be careful with your shabby chics. Anyway, here I'm using my Sure Bonder glue gun, and I was the Sure Bonder maker of the month for the month of August. If you haven't checked that out, check them out on Instagram, and you can see some of my posts and some of my story with Sure Bonder. Yes, I love my Sure Bonder. I don't like the glue gun burns, but the glue works. It works very well. I have to say, there is a big difference in glue sticks. So here I am, I really enjoyed. Can you tell I enjoy making these crafts? I really do. I spend a lot of time prepping and then putting it together. But it's such a nice thing to do on, it was a rainy afternoon here in Miami. So I really just enjoyed creating this beautiful crescent moon wreath. I just wanted to make something very different for you all. So I hope you enjoy it. There you have it. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I also found these little fuzzy balls. I know. Don't stop. I did. At the Dollar Tree, they have these little fuzzy balls. I don't know what to call them. They're like little fuzzy balls. In the final reveal, I did add some beautiful fairy lights that I received from Olafus. I really love these fairy lights. They're much longer length and brighter than the ones that you would find at the Dollar Tree, and actually just as inexpensive. A set of 16 comes out to like $16, $17. With free shipping on Amazon, it can't be beat. Check out the final results of this shabby chic harvest moon. We definitely need a little bit of bippity boppity boo, so let's bippity boppity do this thing. Yes, I'm going to attempt to make a very special pumpkin. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just watch me doing this. So this came from, originally it's an orb, that you get at the Dollar Tree, and I had covered it in ivy, and I had done this for a previous project back in springtime. And here is the finished ivy ball, I guess you want to call it. It's an ivy ball. Hey, how you doing? There I am in my Hocus Pocus t-shirt. And basically I'm looking at this thing like, now what do I do? How do I do this? Because I have no idea how to engineer the idea I have in my head. Now, originally I wanted to use those wire pumpkins that they have at the Dollar Tree. But guess what? I can't find any. 3 weeks I have been waiting to see those wired pumpkins. Now watch, when I go to the Dollar Tree, it's going to be packed with wired pumpkins. But since they started putting out Halloween stuff, I have been waiting to see the wired pumpkins, and I have not seen them. So I had this orb, and I had the ivy already on the orb. So what the heck, let's try it out. And again, the circular orb, or the sphere, I also got at the Dollar Tree, as well as these smaller wire form wreaths, which are perfect for this project. So first thing is I am taking one of those smaller wired wreath forms and I'm wiring it to the sphere, so as to create like a I don't know, floor or whatever, just a base, I guess a base, that's what we want to call it. So I'm securing a base for this project. Now I was trying to think of, well, I want to make an entryway, let's say. And I was looking at this small little frame, but I realized that small frame is just going to be too small. And again, using these tinseled pipe cleaners, I'm going to attach 4 others of these little wire wreath forms. And as you can see what it's becoming. I am making Cinderella's carriage. Now, if you don't fall in love with this, if this doesn't wake up the inner child in you, if this doesn't make you go, oh, then I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with you guys anymore. I really don't. This took a lot of work and I fell in love with it. I mean, I fall in love, I really do love doing what I do, and I fall in love with my projects, but this one was like, wow. I mean, wow. I wish I had, like, you know, if my niece was into princesses, man, this would be such a perfect gift for a little girl for her room. Wait till you see. So you secure the 4 wheels to the carriage. Yes, these are the wheels to the carriage. Don't worry, I know it looks icky because they're wire. As you saw earlier, I just spray painted everything silver, including the ivy, which I think is perfect. You know, what else would be on a pumpkin, you know, carriage, a magical pumpkin carriage? So here I am securing the 4 wheels to my little pumpkin carriage. Next, what we're going to do is, I found this little mirror at the Dollar Tree, and it's usually black and gold, and I just painted the whole thing silver. It's still, you can still see a little bit of the mirror, but I decided that this was an even better base for my carriage. Now, as you can see, I'm struggling because the wheels are not holding up. I'm not very good at engineering, not very good. The wheels are not holding up, but don't worry about it. It all works out in the end, you'll see. So I'm just secured the little mirror with some glue to the wire base. Now I've got this wonderful frame. It was in white. I took out the mirror. It was a mirror from Dollar Tree. It came in white and black, and that's going to become the entrance to, oh my gosh. Can we just, oh my gosh. I love this. Love this. I know I made it, but it's different. When you make it, you're making it. And then when you watch yourself make it and you're like, wow, that does look cool. You know, I just love it. So now I'm going to add, remember those beautiful light lavender colored leaves that I made the moon with and the garland with? Well, I took it out and I did a little spraying, like a soft dusting, as you would call it, of fairy dust, of silver paint. So it wasn't perfectly purple, but you can still see the purple peeking out. See the purple peeking out? My goodness, yes. So here I'm going to add all these lovely leaves to the wheels just to add more dimension, and also because I ran out of ivy leaves. Let's face it. But you know what? It was a happy accident because I think I love the idea of that little touch of purple in the background of these leaves. It's just so lovely and wonderful. And just adds a touch of more magic. So once I did that, and here I am just adding a bunch of leaves all over the place, so there would be a mix of silver and purple. Then next, I had some pearls, like pearl sprays that I had gotten for Christmas, and I'm just going to intertwine them into the wheels itself just to add a little more, I don't know, class or something. I just wanted the little white pearls. Now, yes, I am using this as part of my Halloween display, but I am going to leave it up for Christmas because it's just too darn pretty. Other than that, I'm going to leave it up in my room all year long and just, you know, have candles lit in there. I would not use real candles because of all the leaves. I would use, you know, those fake little candles. But here I am, and you could add crystals. You can add whatever you like. Looking back, I should have added some totally dazzled items, but I didn't want to overdo it. It's just, I don't know. So here I am just showing you the whole darn thing so you can see what it looks like so far. But what's a beautiful pumpkin carriage without some lighting? So yes, I'm going to use those Olafus fairy lights once again for this project. And I couldn't think of a better way to use these fairy lights than to light up my lovely little Cinderella's pumpkin carriage. Oh, and I'm using some of these acrylic beads as well for the backdrop, and you'll see it in the final reveal. Oh, so like, hey, remember those strips of burlap that I cut out earlier and dyed with the extra paint and Mod Podge from the first project? Here it is again. Look at that. I didn't forget to do the video. Look at that. So this is a little window frame thingy from Target. I think it was $3 at Target during Christmas time. Didn't use it for Christmas, but it's still hanging around. So I decided to use that like roughed up painted. It's a little rough. I'm not going to say it's flexible, but it's a little rough, and especially since it's on burlap, of course, it's a little rough, but it's perfect for those Victorian style type of, they had wired ribbon before, but I mean, I don't know, I just like the color, and I thought this would be so cute as a little wall hanging. I am just super happy with these. I love these burlap strips painted. How perfect. Thank you, burlapfabric.com, for all the burlap, for all my burlap needs. Thank you so much. And Sola wood. So here, you know, again, crossover. Here's Sola wood flowers that I originally dyed at the beginning of the show, at the beginning of the episode, with the Plaid acrylic paints and some water. And look how lovely they came out. Just the perfect color of pink. That's the best thing about Sola wood and using it together with Plaid. You can create exactly what you need for your projects. Just lovely, just absolutely lovely. I'm so happy with all of this. Just, oh, this was such a happy episode for me, and I hope it made you happy too. It wasn't too crazy, but I can tell you it was very creative and a lot of fun. I really love these very feminine and shabby chic looks. I hope you try them as well. Now for the horses, I took them outside and I took off their manes and their tails, and I spray painted them all in a chalky antique white. It's not perfectly white, but an antique white kind of finish. And it worked very well on these plastic horses. Now I'm using some moldable air dry clay, and this is the Model Magic clay. I use the Model Magic clay because it's a little spongier and it's easier to form even once it's dried. And all I'm doing is making my little saddles for my little horses, as you can see. And I like the idea of making the saddles, but it needed a little embellishment. So using that crockery stamps, yeah, you heard me right, crockery stamps from IOD, I stamped the edges of my saddles so they would have a nice little design, and it worked perfectly. And again, this is the Crayola Model Magic. It's a little more spongy than their air dry clay, which is perfect because it won't crack, and it's very, very pliable even after it dries. Now I'm making some more embellishments for the front of the horsey. This one got stuck. I think I forgot to put in the cornstarch. And yeah, this came out really nice. Like I said, this is a moldable clay. I don't know if you call it clay. It's a spongy. I don't know. It's cool. I like it. But you can get it everywhere. And it's fun for the kids too. So here I'm just going to form it around the neck of my horse. Stay up, horse. Oh my goodness. And there you can see where I'm going to put, it's like, it's going to be, you'll see, it's going to come out really cute. But it's like their reins. So there you have it. That's how I'm going to add all these embellishments to my little horsies. And here you can see all the little saddles that I made for my horsies. Using my Plaid family of products, of course, I am now painting using all their acrylic paints. So I think this is Folk Art or Apple Barrel, but I love the colors that they have, and it's perfect to paint all of my embellishments for my little horsey. Next, I needed to create a new tail and mane, of course. So I'm using this beautiful, colorful twine that I got at the Dollar Tree. And I thought, what a beautiful color combination. It's a very light green and a pinkish red, actually. And so here I am. All I'm doing is gathering up all the twine to make a tail. Yes, I think I started with the tail. And, you know, it's so much fun to make these horses. If you have a chance to do this, and if you have a little girl especially, oh my gosh, I think they would go nuts. So I used some wax paper and put down some glue first, so it would be easy to glue all of these strands together. Yes, I realize that I'm showing you my horsey's butt, but I have to so that I can glue its new little tail. Look how cute it looks. I love it with this twine, and it's just so cute and perfectly Christmassy. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the mane, of course, smaller. It's not going to be as long as the tail. And here I am just gathering the twine once again. And same process, I had glued it down onto the wax paper and created an easy way to add the mane right to where the initial mane was, and it just looks perfect. Next, I'm going to use these rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. I thought it was perfect to add some embellishments to my horsey without having to paint them or draw them myself. So all it is a rub-on transfer, place it and rub it on. And now let's see if I messed it up. Here's the reveal. Wow, look how cool. Cool little horsey. I love it. It's coming out great. After I did the rub-on transfer, I decided to use some gold leaf and add some more embellishments to my saddle. Now, using my Sure Bonder glue gun, I just used the tip and I made the perfect size hole for my dowel, and the dowels are from the Dollar Tree. It was the perfect way to do it. I didn't crack the horse or damage it in any way, and as I said, made the perfect size for my dowel. And I did it both to the top and to the bottom. Make sure you do this before you put on any other embellishments. And there you have it, my little carousel horse. And of course, I had already made holes for the saddle, so it was very easy to just attach it once my, I guess, carousel pole was on. And there you have it. Once you have the saddle fitting correctly, all I would do is secure it with hot glue or E6000 or Gorilla Glue and continue adding embellishments. Here I added some beautiful metal roses that I received from BB Craft. BB Craft has many wonderful crafting supplies, and there you can see how lovely the roses look with my carousel horse. So let's get started on our fun summer crafts, vintage mermaid style. Here I'm taking a Dollar Tree book, and it was Dinosaur Nights because, well, it was there. And this little frame, I think this is 4x6 or 5x3. I think it's a 5x3. Yes, it's a 5x3. And I like the little vintage look of that frame. And all I'm doing is, yeah, I am really struggling in trying to cut this cover. First, I tried with a knife, and then I came in with a Dremel. Yes, it's not a real Dremel. It's a cheapy Dremel. It's a really cheapy Dremel. So it took a while too, but I got through the cover of the book eventually. And again, just be careful if you're using a Dremel, and make sure you're taking safety precautions and wearing goggles. Always wear goggles when you use a Dremel of any type. So I'm cutting through the cover of the book, and then I have to cut through the pages of the book because what I'm trying to create is a frame for what's going to be inside. Now you can put anything you like inside. I kept it kind of simple because I like to keep it kind of simple. Yeah, like you've ever seen me keep anything simple, right? Anyway, so I'm just using, the frame of, or I should say the cutout of the cover to then cut out the pages. Now don't throw away those pages because you can use them for other crafts. Now I'm going to take an image that I think I got it from the Graphics Fairy, and pretty much what I did was I glued around the pages so they wouldn't be all over the place, and I glued in the image of that vintage mermaid, which was the perfect size. And I'm checking it with the frame now. Now I'm going to line the inside of the book with moss, because what makes more mess than moss? Nothing except for glitter. So let's put some moss. We'll add some glitter later maybe, I don't know. But yes, let's just line that with moss, and that's just so you don't see the pages. Now, once I finished with the moss, I found these beautiful stones and these light blue stones that they had at the Dollar Tree. This is like face filler, and I thought, oh, how perfect just to line the bottom of this book, just to add a little more enchantment. Here I am fixing up some more moss, because you can never have enough moss. And basically, I'm just lining so you don't see the inside pages. And you can line it with anything you want. It could be moss, it could be leaves. But moss is what I usually use for my enchanted books. And now, I'm going to embellish this with some paints from Plaid. These are folk art paints, and I'm using Color Shift, Dragonfly, and Extreme Glitter, or Glitterific, I think it's called. Yes, Glitterific. And these are all from the Plaid family of products, because it's Plaid. I wanna craft forever. Yes, Plaid. Now, of course, if you don't have these products, but I mean, I really love these products. Look at that color shift. If you use the color shift, you will really enjoy it. Now, this is the Dragonfly paint, and the Dragonfly paint is just like, it shifts colors from 2 different colors of glitter, believe it or not. And it is just so pretty. It's perfect for this craft, just absolutely perfect. So if you have some light glitter, it would be also a perfect way to use it. I love making enchanted books. It's one of my favorite things to make. And there's Glitterific, because you can never have enough glitter, but Plaid's Glitterific is fantastic because you just get glitter on your project and not all over you. Now, I forgot to film when I was decoupaging the top of the book, but here I am just adding the top layer of Mod Podge onto my book. And I really love this color of this paper that I had. It just looks so vintagey and old. And that's the whole theme of these projects, all of these projects. Now, to the rocks, I also added some small pearls just to add a little more dimension and just more beauty. I don't know, whatever you want to add to the bottom of the sea for you. It could be fishes. And this does have glass that's already been glued to the frame, and now I am gluing the frame to the top of my book, and there you have it. But I thought, oh, you know, let me age. I just like the vintage age, so I'm taking black paint, and it's a little too much, so I'm just wiping it off a little bit with a napkin, but I kind of like the look of it with that black on the corners. And you can also use like those corners that you can buy that are like brass and put them on the book. It's just, there's no limit to what you can do to your enchanted book.
People, that's exactly what I look like when I have to do a thrift flip. I have to give my creation life. So here I'm giving new life to this mini skirt that I found at Goodwill. And I loved the colors, I loved everything about it. So I am going to thrift flip this and make it into a purse, because I wanted it to be a purse. Now for the inner lining, I'm going to use a zippered pillowcase from the Dollar Tree. And it's got this jacquard kind of print on it, which is perfect, absolutely perfect. It's a little long, so I'm going to sew it down with my handy dandy brother sewing machine. Not my brother's sewing machine, it's a sewing machine that's brother. Anyway, you know what I mean. So I'm sewing it down, and then I'm going to cut it right there, give it a little bit of just, you know, like a 1/4 inch or an inch, a 1/2 inch. And yeah, that's it. And then I'm going to take that part that I cut off, and I'm actually going to make an inner pocket, because of course we all need a pocket to put our cell phone. So I'm just going to do it on one side. I was going to do it on both, but I got tired. And there I go, just sewing it. And you're wondering, like, where's the pedal? This sewing machine does not have a pedal. I love it. Love, love, love it. So I'm going to make a pocket for my inner lining of my mini skirt purse. Now I can already hear you guys saying, well, that's all fine and dandy, Annie. That doesn't help me. I don't have a sewing machine. Well, if you have a glue gun, I'm going to give you a suggestion. There is hot glue that is specifically made for fabrics. So go find some of that glue sticks and use it in your glue gun. It works very well. I've used the one for Surebonder, and it's fantastic. Now here I am using that little tag to help me measure where I'm going to cut the purse to make it a little smaller because it was just humongous. It was going to be like a beach tote if I left it as it is. Now I'm going to sew it, not once but twice, and I'm going to serger it. First I'm going to just do the, regular stitch, straight stitch, and then I'm going to use a zigzag stitch as a kind of serger kind of stitch. And it just helps to like not fray the fabric. It gives it more strength. And hopefully I'll be getting a serger soon, not that I have anywhere to put it, but it's very cool to have a serger because it gives it a much more professional look. Love my sewing machine. I can't say it enough. So there you go. I have sewn the bottom of the purse. Now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to put the lining and the inside of the purse. Now remember, you always have to sew right sides together, and there I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to design the purse and how this inner lining is going to work. And there you see, I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm like, nope, I'm not supposed to sew it that way. I'm supposed to sew it with the right sides together. So you'll see that I flip it inside out once again. There you go. And now that's how I'm going to sew the actual pillowcase with a zipper inside my purse to serve as my lining. And it comes out pretty darn neat. So here I go. I use sew a lot. Not just that I sew, but I use the word sew a lot. Have you noticed? And anyways, as I was just about to say, here I am sewing the inside lining, or that zippered pillow from Dollar Tree, to my purse. It was a little difficult at first. I should have used the sleeve kind of attachment thing, and that would have made it easier, but I was just going for it. So here I am, sewing the inner lining. Now that I finished with that inner bag, which is basically the dollar store zippered pillowcase, now I'm ready to work on this purse on the outside. Now, the main thing is I didn't want this purse to look like a skirt that I made into a purse, which is basically what I did. So I very quickly took those corners and tied them into knots, and now I made it into some kind of like design, and voila, I've made myself a cute little lightweight handbag. It's really nice and lightweight. And because I have that inner lining with the, the zippered pillowcase, everything's contained in the lining, and it's really nice. I actually wore it out, and I got some compliments already. I wore it to church. I took it to church. Now for the straps, all I'm going to do is sew the straps a couple of times, and then I'm going to tie a knot at the top. And that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do, people. And the reason I sewed it is just so it would be more durable, because we all know how much stuff we like to put in our purse. But if not, you can keep it just double knotted at the top, and that way you can change the length as you need. And there you have it, a purse out of a skirt.
Now I'm taking one of those little coney things, a little styrofoam coney things? Yeah, styrofoam cone from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut it down to size so I can make two little friends for Lumpy, not just one, but two little friends. So here I'm using that foam clay. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it is in my Amazon store. So please check out my Amazon store if you want some foam clay. Now, moldable foam clay is much lighter than air dry clay, and it doesn't crack as much as air dry clay. So that's why I thought it would be a better choice for my project, since I'm making little ghosties. So here I'm using that cut off styrofoam cone, and I'm going to start shaping around the cone with the moldable foam. Now what's cool is, because this is styrofoam and this is moldable foam, it literally just sticks to the foam. So that's something else to take into consideration. So all I'm doing now is I am pleating and repeating all around my little ghost. Now I'm going to put the finishing touches to this little ghostie's face, which is going to be a pumpkin. He's going to have it's the little pumpkin head ghost. It just reminds me of all those vintage ghosties out there. So come back and see how I finish him off.
Now, never did I ever in ghosties did I see a happier bunch than these little three. Lumpy, Smiling Jack, and a cat named Boo. Such a perfect fit for such a motley crew. So on All Hallows Eve, if perchance you are lucky to hear
the smallest little boo whispered in your ear. Do not jump, do not screech, do not howl in fright. It's just these 3 little friends come to play for the night. And what exactly should you now do if you hear them politely say boo to you?
Because today we're part of a special challenge. And who are we? Well, hi, it's me, Indiana Jones, and this is my big brother Manny. I can't point, I can't hold anything for him, I can't do anything. Did you know there's chocolate on the table?
That's from before.
Oh, okay.
I don't want anything.
Okay, careful with the glue gun. All right, so we're gonna get started with our floating teacup, just like Harry Potter. You're gonna make a floating teacup. All right, here we go, guys. Let's get started. All right, first things first, you're going to use that fork. Pick up the fork. Now you're going to bend the fork all the way, like, okay, take the fork, yes, with your magical powers, Doctor Strange.
I can bend it with my mind.
So you're gonna, like that. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Bend it a little more, just a little more. Okay, see, I got you an easy fork. Now, where you hold the fork, you're gonna bend it the other way, so it looks like kind of a Z. You can use the table if you have to.
I was.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't like.
Need a tool?
Is that okay?
Bend the front of the fork a little more.
Bend the front of the fork a little
Yeah,
more.
higher. Yeah, like that. A little more. There you go. And then the front of the fork.
No problem. I just been working the yard all day.
Oh, sorry.
Should have brought my gloves.
There you go. That's good. Okay, you see that? That's perfect. All right, now, you see this beautiful machinery I have here in front of me, this beautiful tool? That is called a glue gun.
It's a gun.
It's a gun. It's a
Ba-da-na-na-na.
sure bonder.
Da-da-da-da.
Sure bonder. Stick with the best. That's their slogan. All right, we're going to make a pool of glue in the saucer.
Oh, it's dribbling
Yes,
already.
it's dripping.
All right.
And then, is it, okay.
Inside?
Yes,
Anywhere in
keep
particular?
going.
Key.
There you go. Keep going.
Key.
All right, that should be good to
Okay.
start. Now, you're going to take the fork, stick it in the pool of glue.
Which part?
The forky part.
Fork you. Fork you, man.
Fork you. Okay, good. Now, you're going to put more glue on top of that.
Does everybody see what I'm doing? Hot as hell.
Yes, you got to hold it. You got to hold it. Careful, don't burn yourself. Oh, Lord. Okay, keep putting more glue.
He's right here.
Oh, Lord, yes, please. Okay, now you've got to anchor that down.
The fork.
The fork. So you see those stones over there? I'm not pointing. I'm just looking at those stones, of those white stones. Pour them on. There you go. And then mush them. Careful with the glue. Mush them down. Put some more glue on the edge, on that outer edge, away from the fork. Because you got to balance. There you go. Because you got to have to balance with the stones.
Oh, so it doesn't tilt over.
Yes, exactly. So that's what the rocks are for.
Okay.
Right.
It's like that?
Yes, you're gonna glue it. Now you're gonna use that thing behind you or something to hold up like that. Perfect.
Like that?
Yes, but you need something to hold it up. Go ahead. Careful.
Oh, that's good.
Careful.
I like these.
The rocks?
The rocks, because they look like sugar canes.
Oh, cute. So these are from the Dollar Tree. The teacup is $1 also.
Oh.
He done it.
I've done it.
He done it. And I didn't do anything.
I've done a lot of it.
He's done a lot of it.
There's a lot of rocks on this
That's
thing.
fine. All right.
That's
ready
cool, though.
for next step?
Yes.
Okay, next step.
Where do you get this?
This is moss, and you get
Is
it.
this legal?
Yes.
Okay.
I know, it doesn't look right. I put it in that jar. I didn't think about that. It's moss, people, from the Dollar Tree. It's moss. Don't sniff it.
Doesn't.
It doesn't. It smells mossy.
Mossy.
Yes. Okay, so now you see these popsicle sticks right here in front of me. They're off camera, right there. There you go. You're going to use those popsicle sticks so you don't burn your fingers.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to cover everything that's silver with moss.
Okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. If you hear me screaming, it's because I spilled some on my skin.
Okay, put it back on the holster. Let it heat up. Oh, you burned yourself. Use
That's
the
all
stick.
right.
Use the stick. Oh, it's really easy.
So I keep doing it?
Keep doing it all the way up, and you gotta do you gotta do it all the way around. And then
I gotta do it on the other side too.
Well, yeah, if you can.
Okay, yeah.
Go have fun with it. I always put leaves first because it's I don't know.
Where do I put them? How do I do this?
Okay.
What do I do?
Take a leaf.
Leaf.
Put some glue on it.
The leaf.
The leaf.
Okay. Put glue.
Put some glue either on the leaf or in the cup, however you want, or wherever you want.
Where am I
No,
putting
put
it? In the cup?
Wherever you want.
I don't know.
Okay, you can put it in the cup. Cup of. Remember that?
No.
Okay.
You did. Okay.
Okay.
Keep putting leaves?
Just wherever you want to put leaves, wherever you feel that it needs leaves. This is your creative process now.
Oh Lord, we're in trouble.
Ta-da! Yes, lift it up because there's like a mess of flowers in front of it. Look at that! Look how cool it looks!
It's like someone's barfing leaf.
It's supposed to be like Alice in Wonderland. Like, think of Alice in Wonderland in a magical tea party.
Going on an acid trip.
Oh my Lord. All right, let's get ready and put some leaves.
More leaves?
No, I'm just kidding.
Holy crap.
I forgot. Wait. Hold on. Okay, no, we already have enough leaves. I'm sorry. Oh, now we're going to put some flowers. Les fleurs.
Perhaps we should try some flowers this time.
Les fleurs. Les fleurs.
The fleurs.
There's some pink
I want
ones
some
and
yellow,
some yellow.
some pink. Oh, that's so cute.
That's a pretty one. Oh, look, there's another one, big one. I can't. I'm not
Can't
pointing.
point,
I'm not
no
pointing.
point,
I'm
no
not
point,
pointing.
No point. No point.
I'm not pointing. I'm not chinning or pointing.
Now, what do you suggest?
I usually put the big, pretty central flowers first.
Okay, where?
And then I refill it. What? Right where the glue gun is?
Yes.
Okay. Right there, there's a pretty, like, peach rose. You see it?
Peach
You see it?
rose.
You see it? You see it?
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
See it? Isn't that big?
No.
It's a
it's
big.
okay.
Okay. Stick it in here.
It just matches the other yellow bud.
Oh, you know what's really great about this is it stick pretty quick.
Because it's Sure Bonder, I'm telling you, man. Sure Bonder. Stick with the best. Okay. That would have been bad.
Then I'd have to glue the whole thing.
I know, all over again. And then you have these little purple flowers right here in front of me.
And the purple. And the purple. I'll put one here.
There you go. And you have these little white and purple ones right here in front of me.
Stop it! I can't take the pressure anymore.
And those little purple daisies. There's so many pretty flowers.
It's all fit in there.
No. Do it nice.
Do nice.
Oh, look that. Oh.
Don't point. Don't touch.
Don't point.
mine.
Don't touch. Ooh, that's a pretty
Can't point. Can't touch. What can you do? Can't point. Can't touch. What can you do? Sudden innuendos follow.
Must be something inside.
One more.
One more.
Yeah.
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 That means that's it.
That's it.
Okay, now let's clean up our workspace.
My style, your style.
My style, I guess. There you go. Everything goes in that corner over there.
Well, I'm gonna do like the waiters.
There you go. Look at that. That is beautiful. Okay, hold it up for the people to see.
I did it. And no one helped. Shut up.
It is beautiful. Look at that.
okay? Yeah.
That's so perfect for Easter. Oh, you know what?
That's true.
We could have put little huevitos in there too. We could have put little baby eggs.
Little baby eggs.
That would have been cute.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't have them that small. But that's so cute. It came out so beautiful. It looks like an English tea garden.
Well, she's done a lot of these. I've seen them, but they're more delicate. This is like big, bulky flowers.
But you know what? I like the big bulky flowers better
Really?
now. Yeah. Because I always do it with the little delicate flowers, but I like the big bulky flowers.
Did I do good?
You did very well. Yay, let's give him my hand. Yay!
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Manny,
Thank you.
for helping me out with this couples challenge since, again, I don't have it. But I have my big bro. He came through, and I think he did a beautiful job.
It's a flying flower saucer.
It's a flower saucer. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I never thought of that.
It's a flying
It's a
flower saucer.
flower saucer. It's an unidentified flower object. That is so cool. I love it. So I hope you guys make your own floating teacup someday. I think this is perfect for Mother's Day. There you go. Now you have something.
It's true. for
It's
Mother's
adorable
Day.
for Mother's Day.
Day's coming.
Mother's Day is coming down the pike.
When is it? Is it
It's
there?
in May.
May.
May. It's in May.
You have 2 months and a half to do this, people.
Yes. Yes.
Don't give me no excuses. I did it, and I'm tired from cutting the lawn and burnt and fried and freaked out from my sister screaming at me like a mad woman. And I did it. And if I was able to do it, you can do it.
There you go. There you go. So thank you, Manny. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you.
Well, what did you think? If you're new to this channel, this is a great way to see what I love to do on my channel and come up with these wild, wacky ideas. And if you're a returning friend, did you see your favorite on here? I hope you did. Anyway, I want to thank each and every one of you for the kindness, compassion, and the love that you have shared with me throughout this year. I started this year with a goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers, and by the middle of the year it didn't seem like it was that important anymore. If you aren't aware, I did lose my mom in the summer this year, and it was very, very difficult for me, and it still is. I'm still struggling with that for myself and my family. And later in the year I had some health issues, but as you can see, I'm trying to bounce back. I don't know what this coming year will hold for me, for any of us. But I have to show my gratitude for all of you. I have received such kind and encouraging and loving, thoughtful comments from all of you and made such beautiful friendships, and I want to thank you all for that. And I hope that you feel the same. I hope that when you come to my channel, you've made a friend with me as well. Please, if you are new, please leave me a comment below. I would love to learn more about you. And I would love to encourage you as well. If you're thinking about crafting, if you're thinking about starting a channel, whatever it is, I would love to inspire and encourage you as well. Anyway, please stay tuned because there will be another video coming out very soon on January 4th where you see the transformation from a messy, awful craft room to what you see here today. As I always say, first and foremost, happy and blessed New Year to each and every one of you. May you stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you as always. And remember to live the adventure. Make the most of it this year. I'll see you again very soon, and thank you once again. Bye.